Hey, what's up, movers? Coach Hal here with you to go over the single side rocker. We are now taking our rocking game on a bilateral axis and now taking it to one side, one leg only. So let's go ahead and start in our regular rocker setup. If you need to, go ahead and get yourself some assistance with your band. Find your knee pads, find your grounding, whatever's going to be comfortable for you. Get an elevated surface if need be, and let's go ahead and get started. For the single side rocker, we're going to be setting up in the same fashion that we would be for our regular rockers. And we may even want to start by finding pressure in the back side. If you need to rock once, twice, thrice to find this, go ahead and do so. And then let's go ahead and get ready for this single side rocker. We're going to go ahead and take our right hip and do a lateral shift to the right, keeping the arch in our low back, keeping pressure to the backside, pushing our hips laterally, raising the hips to the sky, and still driving the knee to the ground, putting pressure to the side of the hip. We should feel pressure on the side of the hip at this point. And then we can take our feet at our 6 o'clock angle and bring them to 7 o'clock. Once we are here, we are opening up this hip. You should have more of a stretch, more of a pressurization in the outside hip, even into the hamstring. And if you want to, you can stay with your toes tucked, or you can go feet flat on the ground. And in this position here, I would strongly encourage you to take the outside shin bone and that knee and drive it into the floor as hard as you can, while at the same time bringing the hip wide and high towards the sky. You should feel a lot of pressure in this outside glute area, and if you have lost this, then let's go ahead and set back up at square one. We're going to put our feet flat. We're going to do a lateral shift right, hike this hip high and wide, bringing the feet from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and then from here, by continuing to drive wide and bringing the hips high to the sky, we can do some micro movements rocking back and forth. The torso and the head can come and pack in on the right side, pushing the hips high and back, really getting a lot of space, a lot of pressure, a lot of loading in this variation. Or as we continue to shift right, we can allow our torso to fall to the left, getting a great stretch in the oblique, the lower QL, and the lat area of the body. And we can play around with this variation, once again, always keeping pressure through the backside, never allowing that pressure to release. And we can wax out, do some micro movements here, play around where we need to, and then finally, come back and set ourselves up to switch to the other side. Lateral shift, feet move from 6 to 5, bringing the hip high and wide. I'm going to stay neutral torso and scrub, driving my outside of my shin bone, my knee, driving it wide, trying to spread the floor as if I had a piece of paper underneath me and I'm trying to rip it out to the left. I'm trying to tear this piece of paper off the floor. Driving that shin bone long and wide, keeping the hip high and wide, lateral shift. Maybe giving myself a little bit of a stretch here, scrubbing that hip out where I can. Coming back in, packing this hip back as much as I can, finding as much pressure as I can. Coming back. One thing to take note of here is when we do our lateral shift of our feet, we do not want our feet collapsing in this way or this way. Our feet should always be in this inside ankle bone high fashion, meaning toes are in, heel is away, driving this inside ankle bone high towards the sky at all times. You may feel your feet cramping in this position. That's okay. If you need to reset, do what you need to do, and just have fun with it. Remember that we don't have to be stuck in one side, staying in a linear fashion. We can rock and roll around all through one single side, and we have all of this space behind us to play and move our hips up, down, back, and around. And wherever you feel the most resistance or the most pressure is where you should stay, hang out, and continue to scrub that femur in its ball and socket joint and work out any of that stickiness that you may have. This is a super powerful movement and can be incorporated in any other rocker variation that you want to. So have fun, play around with it. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I wish you the best of luck. Stay blessed.